Alright, good morning. It is 7:21, Monday morning. Oh, what a day, what a night. Anyways, I gotta get these eggs in here. Let me put these down for a second. Oops, I mean completely down. Give you guys an update in just a second. Making Riley some toast and eggs for breakfast. Anyways, so last night I did the kind of like what was going on, what happened yesterday. And so that was that. And then, you guys hear because my hair is a mess. Anyways, so yeah, he went into the hospital last night. You guys will probably hear a bunch of dinging. I'm getting like a ton of messages on Facebook. Anyways, last night I fell asleep at, I don't know, it was maybe around midnight. I fell asleep, and when I fall asleep, like, the worst thing is me, like, somebody waking me up there, like, especially if I'm, like, asleep, and, I don't know, just, it stresses me out. My heart starts pumping, like, I don't know. It's weird, but, I got a knock on the door. It was my dad. And because I was telling you guys yesterday with the phone not working, it's not like they could call. They could call the cell phone, but I wouldn't have heard the cell phone anyways if they would have called, because I was in the living room and the phone was in the kitchen, and it just didn't have a very loud ring on it. So anyways, he come over and he said that the hospital had called because they had my parents' number on call just in case, and that's where they ended up calling first. So they called there, and it's like my mom is the same way, so she was probably freaking out with the phone ringing at 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was. And they had called her and told her, because I knew they were transferring him down to Bathurst. So anyways, when he got there, because he kept, like, passing out, snoring, like, really, really loud, it was, I don't know how she said it, if it was, like, obstructing his breathing, or, it's not normal to snore that loudly, like, so anyways, they ended up having to put a tube down his throat, and they put him in an induced coma. So, I don't know what the hell is going on. I called down there, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning to find out what was going on. So, of course, I was stressed out about all that stuff. So, I barely slept last night. And then, this morning, I just called dialysis to kind of give them the heads up, but they had already gotten, I don't know if they got a call from Bathurst, or if they might have faxed them or something, because they needed a list of his medications that he's on and how much he takes. And yesterday, because I was just so, like, in a panic type thing, I wasn't even thinking to grab his pills, you know. And usually he has a list, but it wasn't in the bag that I had grabbed, of course. So I was like, well, just call dialysis. They'll have a list of all of his stuff that he needs. And not thinking yesterday was Sunday, dialysis was closed. So that was a no-go. So that's why they had to talk to Dalhousie today. So she knew that he was in ICU. That was the extent of it. So I was talking to one of the nurses in dialysis, just letting her know what's going on. So she had to get other patients hooked up. So she was going to do that, and then she was going to call Bathurst. And she said if there was any change, she would call me and let me know. I'll be calling later on anyways to find out what's going on. So I just figured, I think 8 o'clock is like shift change for the doctors. So I might as well at least wait until they switch doctors and the doctors go see him or whatever. I don't know how that really works down at that hospital, but that's pretty much how it works here. The nurse said I could call anytime, so they gave me the number directly up to the floor that he's on. So yeah, that's what's been going on. If you guys want to say a prayer for him, it'd be really appreciated. I'm not a prayer, but those of you who are. So, yeah, I just made Riley some eggs. Drinking my coffee. He's got toast that's going to pop any second now. He's got his vitamins on this plate. He eats his vitamins every morning. And I'm going to give him a glass of milk. So, he's going to be leaving for school in a little while. Get him all ready. I packed his lunch last night when I was chatting with you guys, and I packed his snack this morning. I've already did a load of laundry since I've been up. I've mopped the floors and the bathroom. Just basically got the bathroom all clean, disinfected. Because, again, like I said, when stuff happens to me, it can't just be one thing. My cat was... We have 3 cats, and the last rescue kitty, we didn't get her fixed yet, so every once in a while she goes into heat, which is the most annoying thing ever. I mean, I would never abandon any animal, but I kind of understand why people do throw their cats out when they're in heat, because it is so stinking annoying. Like, I know it's not her fault, I should get her fixed, blah blah blah, but anyways, so her being in heat, she was in heat, and like any other time she'd be in heat, and then that was the end of it when she was done. Well, now she's bleeding, so I don't know what the hell. I'm just assuming that it's kitty period or something, so it's like, that was all over the floor. Just to top everything off, you know, I can't just have a normal / not normal. Ow. Okay, so after I get him off to school, I am going to go and try to tackle his bedroom. I have a load of clothes in the dryer right now. And there's just a tiny load in the washer, but I'm not even going to turn it on right now, because it's so small that I'm not running my washer for a small load like that. I'll just wait, and throughout the day I'll add more to it. Oh, I got hiccups. I'm going to take you guys and treat. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I got these plugged in right now. I'm going to take you guys over and show you the sunrise. Well, it's a little harder to pick up on this phone. My other camera takes super nice pictures of it, but that's where the sun comes up. The clouds are super, just kind of the way the sun shines. I'll get you some food in a second, Sassy. The way that the sun shines makes the clouds pink in the morning, so that's out the side of my kitchen window. Big snow, lots of snow, and we're like, I don't know. We're pretty high up, because there used to be a veranda here, and I had stairs to go down, so yeah, we got lots of snow. But there's a pretty sunrise. I don't know, did I say sunset? I meant sunrise if I said sunset, sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna go get this kiddo ready for school, and I'll be back in a bit. Alright, so my son is off to school. He's been gone for a little while now. It is almost 10 o'clock. It's 9:57. I just made myself a coffee. I was next door visiting with my mom. I got that to wash, those to dry. I'll do that after. It is so freaking cold. I'm going for a bath. I can't feel my fingers. I can't feel my toes. So, just another quick check-in update. I had called the hospital where Jay is and asked like how things were going, and they're doing dialysis right now, and after dialysis they're gonna take him try to take him off the ventilator and see how that goes. So hopefully all goes well. So yeah, that's my update right now. I'll check back in a little bit. I gotta go have a bath though because I'm freezing cold. So I'll see you in a bit. Follow the sidewalk. That's not working. Okay, so I figured I would do a little update. It's been a very, very long day. So around, I don't even know what I ended up vlogging today, so just to wrap everything up, this morning, or last night, they basically called from the hospital and said that they had to put they had to hook him up to a ventilator and all that stuff and put him in an induced coma. So they did that last night. And then this morning I called and she said, the nurse said that basically he was going to go for a dialysis treatment. And then they were going to try to take him off of the ventilator and see how that went. So I didn't hear anything back, but I wasn't quite sure what time he was done dialysis either. I should have asked, but I didn't even think of it. So then my mom was like, are we going to go down? Because it is about a little over an hour away from here. Sorry, I'm exhausted and pooped. Anyways, she asked if we were going to go down. I was like, well, we're going to go down, but I'm not exactly sure when. And she's like, well, maybe we shouldn't wait too long. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen because she said if they took him off the ventilator breathing tubes and he wasn't able to breathe on his own, then they would have had to ship him 4 hours away. And then we definitely wouldn't have been able to see him. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get ready and we'll go down. So my dad and my brother-in-law were going to pick up the kids. Sorry. Anyways, we headed down and we were about 5-10 minutes away from the place. And I called and I said, listen, we're almost there. Are we going to be able to go in and see him and whatnot? And she said, yeah. So we made it to the hospital. We went in. It was horrible. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish that on anybody having to witness that. It was one of the hardest things that I've had to see in my life. They had taken his breathing tube out, and it was still kind of like wonky and not coherent, and she said he kept repeating stuff, and when we went in, he kept saying, please help me up, please help me up, help me up. He kept saying that. And we were asking, like, what's wrong? And I think he had said his legs or whatever. Like, he wasn't really, like, he can't have a conversation with anybody. But anyways, his legs were really bothering him. He had, like, bad cramps or whatever in his legs. Like, to the point he started crying and everything. Like, he was just very, very hopeless.
So eventually one of the nurses come in and started like pushing on his feet, and that helped. He ended up, he said it didn't help, but it must have helped because he ended up going to sleep. So it was very difficult seeing him like that. So one of my uncle and aunt live in the vicinity, about 20-minute drive from there. So we went to their place for about an hour. My mom had a cup of tea. She offered to make supper, and I couldn't eat. Like, I had a piece of chicken a while ago there. My mom forced me to eat, but I just don't have an appetite, but I have a wicked headache. And she said, like, and I mean, I know it's true, like, if I don't take care of myself, then I'm going to end up sick, but when you're stressed out, your stomach and everything just kind of hurts. Feel like you want to puke all the time. Anyways, so after that, we ended up going back to the hospital. Before we left the hospital, she said in about a half an hour they were going to lay him down because they thought that he might have inhaled some of his puke when he was puking. So they just didn't want to make sure that that wasn't going to go on his lungs and end up, catching pneumonia or whatever. And when he left the hospital, where the ambulance brought him, this is just how incompetent this hospital is. They gave him so much, I don't know if it was pain meds or relaxers or whatever. They gave him so much of that his breathing was only at 4 out of 4, she said, and that's not good. I don't know, like, numbers and stuff like that, but I just know she said that's not good. That's why they had to put him in a coma and hook him up to a ventilator so that he could kind of rest and get that stuff out of his system so that he could breathe on his own better or whatever. So, so when we went back, like I said, he was laying in his bed, and I didn't go in the room right away. I had to answer some questions, like for the nurse, and she said he kept saying that his finger was bleeding and his knee was bleeding, and he just kept saying it over and over. And I don't know if it was just because they had something on his finger and it had like a red dot or something. And he's not like they said it's more or less like the medication from the induced coma that's still in his system. So, anyways, he was freaking out. So I went in and I told him, I was like, okay, you gotta calm down. And I was rubbing his head and just telling him, like, the doctors are gonna help you and this and that. Your finger's not bleeding. You're okay. Anyways, he ended up calming down and he went back to sleep. And I was talking to him and that, and he wasn't like. I'm assuming he must have knew I was talking to him. And then before I left, I said I love you, and he said I love you too. So that was a little bit of hope. So, what they're gonna do is they're gonna see how he does tonight. Like, she said, like, he's breathing on his own, his breathing's good. They have him hooked up to an IV because obviously he needs some pain meds or whatever, and like his medicine that he needs to take, because like there's just certain things that he's on. If he doesn't take it, he's gonna end up withdrawing from that. And anyways, it was tough to say the least. So she said if he, like, because the doctors like, sorry, I don't know. I've been getting notifications all night. If he's still the same in the morning, like, just he'll kind of wake up and repeat a couple of the same things and then doze back off and then wake up. And she said it's most likely just, like I said, the stuff coming out of his system. But if by chance there's like no improvement by tomorrow, they're going to take and do a scan of his brain to see what could, maybe there's something they're missing, or, so it's definitely tough, scary. Obviously, like Riley knows he's sick and in the hospital, but he doesn't know the extent of it. I don't want to get him upset and worried for nothing, or not for nothing, but you know what I mean, like, just, it's been a long, long day. We just got home. It was like, it's 8:30 now. We got home not even an hour ago. I had a piece of chicken. I went to the bathroom. I gathered up my stuff and I came over here with Riley. Riley wanted to spend the night over there, but I was like, no, I want to go home, sleep in my own bed or the couch. I was going to have a bath, but I don't know if I want to go for one or not. Sorry. So I just want to take the time to thank everybody who sent well wishes and prayers and all that stuff. I really, really appreciate it. And if you guys could continue praying for him, that would be great. I've got a ton of messages on Facebook and just in my messenger, and it's that in itself is kind of hard to keep, So those of you who are on my Facebook know that I kind of just do updates so that everybody can see, and I don't have to answer everybody individually or, whatever. So that is how my day went. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, it's 8:30, maybe in about an hour, because shift change was at 8. I just want to kind of give them time to, I will call down to see, if he settled, how he settled for the night and all that. And then hopefully I'll be able to get some sleep tonight. Like, I've got huge bags under my eyes, and like I said last night, I went to sleep maybe at 4, and I was back up at 6. So, and then I've just been go all day. Like I said, it takes about an hour to get down there. And then we drove an extra 20 minutes to get to my aunt's place and then back. And then it took another hour to get home, and then we had to go in town. It was just like lots of running. So I really appreciate my mom coming down with me, because I don't know how I would have handled seeing him like that by myself. So yeah, it's not fun. Not fun at all. He's been in and out of the hospital for the last 11 years, at least. Well, he's been longer than that, but since we've been together 11 years, and, there's times he pukes, and it's just, okay, we'll have to take him to the hospital. Eventually they get him fixed up, and he stops his puking, and all that stuff, but, this was different. This was really, really different, so, I don't know. And they can't really even give me an answer as to what exactly happened. Like, nobody really knows what happened. So I know they said yesterday there was a lot of like acid or whatever in its blood. So I don't know. I just hope that, and like she had said, it could take up to 24 hours for all the stuff, like whatever drug it is that they give you to put you in a coma, for that to come out of your system. And it's like, I was telling my mom, I'm like, people that go and get their wisdom teeth pulled, they come out of there and they're talking all craziness. So imagine being put into an induced coma. It's probably even more, so that could be why he was taught. I'm just trying to think positive, I guess. So anyways, I don't want this video to be too long, because I do have a little bit of footage from this morning that I'm going to add to it and get that up, and try to get to sleep a little bit. My house is completely clean. When I'm stressed out like that, I just clean. So I was cleaning today. Tomorrow morning, sometime before lunch, they're supposed to come fix my phone line, which will be a huge help, because right now I'm just relying on a cell phone that barely has any service, and that in itself is stressful. And then we're supposed to get 40 centimeters of snow, I think, on Wednesday. It's been bitterly cold out. The wind has been Anyways, I just figured I would pop on and give you guys a quick update. Obviously, I'm running out of space on my phone, so I will end it here. I hope you guys have a good night, and thank you for thinking of us. So, I'll see you in my next vlog.